because it's North Koreans reacting to like shit and like for the first time or whatever. And they have like these two like ex-North Korean soldier guys, and then they got a North Korean soldier girl. And she's the one I was watching because I guess she'd made a few of these videos. She's reacting to like what school buses look like in America or whatever, you know, and then whatever. And it was cute. And so someone sent her a care package from the US and she opens it up and it's full of Pop-Tarts and like Cheetos and Cheez-Its and goldfish. And she's just like breaks down and starts fucking crying. She's like, I've never been given a gift before. I've never even had a birthday gift.
Jesus.
And someone has given me all of this for me. Why am I so special? And then she starts reading the card, dude, and it's a troll. It's Rihanna. The shit got sent to her from someone named Rihanna in Space Force.
Rihanna in Space Force.
And I was like, please, no one tell her that this is just a joke and that Americans are wasteful with their money. Because she was so touched. It was so sweet.
That is very sweet.
She's like eating the Pop-Tart. She's like, ooh, strawberry, and like everything.
Gaining weight in real time.
Just every little food is an adventure for her. Like some beef, like Jack Link's beef jerky. She's like, it's like a dried sausage, huh? We're like, yeah.
And that's the worst brand of it we have. Every brand but that is better.
I like seeing them react to like American military because they've been told their whole lives that like North Korean military is like neck and neck with U.S.
Oh, for sure.
And it's only because the U.S. is like with Japan that they are like strong enough to even like be a problem. Yeah, that's what they're told. They've got two enemies in North Korea: Japan, obviously South Korea, but Japan and the U.S. are the real problem. Otherwise, there'd be one Korea. That's their idea.
Oh, okay.
Like Japan and the U.S. are the real problem. And so like these guys are like, what were you told? They're asking, what were you told about, you know, your weapon systems? We were told that maybe not the best, but close, and we had way more, so it didn't even matter. And then they would just like show them like, we have this laser system that like shoots a laser beam off of a boat and like blows shit up. And they couldn't understand it at first. They were like, I don't get it. It's a cannon, right? We have big cannons. They're like, no. It's a beam of light. And then they both went, oh no. You have this? And he goes, so then it travels at the speed of light.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah.
Okay, then he's pretty bright.
and then the voice that's like narrating the video they're watching goes, and it only costs $1 per shot because it's just light, you know. It's just energy from a nuclear battery or some shit. And then they looked at like just various aircraft and just seeing them blown away is pretty funny. By like various.
Are these like defectors?
Yeah, they escaped. So they'll ask him, you know, like, what did you do? And he's like, I mostly shoveled snow. And, you know, you'd shovel snow and you'd finish shoveling snow from all day and you'd look behind you and more snow. So you'd shovel more snow. I shoveled a lot of snow.
Jesus Christ. And probably no shoes or shitty shoes and shorts.
It looked pretty rough. What's fun is to see them eat different foods. So like,
yeah, that would be neat. Seeing them experience something good for probably one of the first times.
Yeah. Like seeing that lady eat a Twinkie for the first time and like with her poor rotten teeth. And knowing that this was just going to send her down a
dangerous path. We don't need to be introducing North Korean refugees to sugar. Just lean them in give them some stuff with like xylitol in it. Xylitol tastes like dog shit, but if someone's never had anything but dog shit, it's going to taste pretty good.
It was real sad to see them react to some of the like normal shit and just be blown away because they've been told so many lies. It's pretty wild. You know, we joked around about the Pledge of Allegiance last week. We said that shit every day, but they didn't like hammer it in or anything, and they didn't like let us know that Mexico was our fucking blood enemy and that one day that we were going to have to kill all the Mexicans or they'd eat our babies. And that's the kind of shit that they tell them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when they have total media control, so they can say whatever they want. Like they're not even allowed to like, if they're caught with like a thumb drive or something that they found from the outside world, they get executed. Like it's insane, the authoritarianism they have going on. Makes us feel very lucky to not have been born in a country like that.
Have you seen them in Moscow and St. Petersburg grabbing people in the streets and taking their phones and be like, open your phone? They open their phone and they start swiping through to see if they've looked at any websites they're not supposed to, or texted anybody or tweeted about anything in Ukraine. And if they did, they're yoinking them.
Fuck.
Like I watched them. These guys, first of all, they're dressed like fucking stormtroopers. Like I mean, like black RoboCop men in helmets, and he's like flicking through this guy's phone, like looking for fucking propaganda or some shit. And the guy's just like, "Fuck, I'm glad I didn't look up any propaganda. You see, I told you it pays to be a good boy. Look at this." He's gonna look through my. Can I have it back now, Daddy? Thank you very much. No,
I would just I'd have my home screen set to like Putin. Just so they're like, wow, this guy's number one fan, and I'm like, I'm wearing a Putin hat. I got a Putin I got a Putin sound maker. Click, 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 click. So
know. What's the password? USSR.
USSR. It's USA. Yes. Bang. Just dead. Dude, it's fucking wild what is going on in the world. Right now.
Yeah, it's. I think I said last week. This is like the third biggest thing I think that's happened in my short little 35 years on this earth. I think the biggest thing is 9/11, and the second biggest thing is the Indonesian tsunamis. And then I think this falls right, and this could catch up. This could catch up.
Bigger. Pray that it does not, but anything's possible.
This is. Well, I'm not gonna pray. I'm not gonna do any magic.
Send well wishes to your heavenly.
I'm not gonna pray. I'm not gonna do any magic spells. Probably not gonna do any dances.
I'll pray for you.
I'm not gonna like burn any herbs. I might make a big golden calf. Talk to it about this whole scenario.
That can't hurt.
I've heard of people doing that before, and it worked for them. Golden calves. Golden calves are big. They have been big. I think they're on the comeback.
They could be,
but I refuse to do anything else. I send a little money for those fucking dogs to some shit, and if I hope that like somebody goes over there and tags some Russian vehicles with RSK, because we really need Russia to stop killing RSK. And if I could see that on the news, it would just make my day.
Because I remembered back in like the mid 2000s, it was like a cool media source where they would do stuff like, we sent a reporter to live for 20 days in Sentinelese Island. Or like
did they do the North Korea undercover thing with Lisa Ling or something?
I'm now remembering that's the thing I'm thinking of. Yeah.
So we've talked about this before, but it is fascinating if you've never seen it. I think her name is Lisa Ling. She's this very attractive Asian lady who's probably 50 but looks 30. And they went undercover along with an optometrist or an eye surgeon to North Korea to do all these cataract surgeries for these poor North Koreans. And they had like a 4 to 5 day pass, some brief amount of time. And so the doctor is doing dozens of surgeries a day or something. He does like 100 people. He gives them their vision back in at least one and sometimes both eyes in the course of a week. And it's almost they gather in what looks like a church, but I don't know if they're allowed religion there. And and everybody's getting their bandages off at the same time. A whole congregation of people is literally being given their sight back by the man standing in the front, and they bypass him to thank the great leader's portrait. And the old lady exclaims while she cries on her knees, "I will work twice as hard in the salt mines."
And this is and I appreciate, and I was like, this is a legit view of what's going on. There's no spin. Lisa, they're secretly recording this at risk of being taken by the North thrown
Koreans.
In jail. Yeah,
and like that one American they gave back had been tortured so severely he was brain dead, right? And he died not long after we got him back. I don't know what they do to you over there, but it's not friendly.
They fuck your ass up. Yeah,
they fuck your ass up. So that documentary was fascinating to see like what a normal street looked like. It's also very clean, like their cities. But it reminds me of movies when the person's having a dream and all the people in a city have disappeared. And it's very ominous. It's almost like, where are all of the people? Why are there not commuters of some kind? Or why are there not like, in America and every other city I've ever seen, cities are congested with traffic and everybody's trying to get somewhere.
Did you happen to see that footage of the bicyclist riding in North Korea recently on Reddit?
No,
Oh. It backs up your story. Well, story, it sounds like a lie, but it backs up what you're saying.
I did see it.
Oh, yeah. So the guy rides his bike, and man, there are barely any cars in a city with an infrastructure to handle a lot of cars.
Millions. Yeah, a city that looks like a major city of millions. But there's no foot traffic either, seemingly. There's no... It's like, where are the people centers? Where's the hustle and bustle of North Korea?
They did that shit that China does, where they like build an entire city before there's the demand for that city, and then it's just, Old West ghost town, nobody there.
Well,
that would explain.
But these undercover videos, though, like I never quite understand it, and sometimes I have this little sci-fi dystopian Black Mirror moment where I'm like, I've never been to North Korea. Do we even know if it's real? Like maybe they just drew it on the map and it doesn't exist. Yeah, like I've never been. Maybe it's all. Of course, I also have that simulation theory that I melt into every now and then, where I wonder if you guys are real.
That's upsetting. You can't be doing that, man. You're gonna lose.
You wouldn't know if you were. I wouldn't know. You could be the real one. I'm fully open to the concept that you're the only real person that there is, and that I'm just an NPC who's programmed to be me.
No, the simulation thing is. It's always struck me as retarded because it's like. Okay, so this is just like a secular interpretation of what God would be if it weren't supernatural. It's like, no, if
that's
a
clever.
God
I never looked
real,
at it through that lens. That's just an atheist talking about God.
Yeah, it's just
and
like,
I'm not singling out Kyle, but
God exists.
Not necessarily because
really.
because all right, if you're talking about that particular simulation theory, the idea that we are some one simulation and they're running like, oh, let's see what would happen if this and that happened, or let's learn how the universe began. That universe that we discovered over there, because we travel from one to the other. In that scenario, I rewind me a second. I just had a brain fart.
We were talking about the simulation being a parallel to God.
Yeah,
but even in that, but the people who created the simulation, they don't know where their universe came from. They could have you know what I mean?
But then it's like an infinitely reducible. More complex explanation.
It could be a simulation. It could be the Rick and Morty bit where it's a simulation within a simulation within a simulation, and like who is the real one? And soon, and we've created plenty of simulations, right? And we think of the little like, if this happens, do that. If that happens, do this kind of coding as just rudimentary. 1 + 2 is 3. But I don't know. That's kind of how we behave anyway. Whether free will exists or not. Like. We were very predictable in the way we make our decisions and the way we live our lives. But
I've never been convinced by the simulation thing.
You've never thought so much of yourself though that you thought that like this is probably all just about me. And
like
an
empty solipsist,
like in an empty room, you just be like, look, this is a fucking simulation. Come on, let's go back to the real world. I'm tired of this.
Is that called solipsism? The belief that you are the only real entity and everything else is contrived?
If it is, I didn't know there was a word for it. I just sort of thought of it as self-imagining that you're within a simulation, sort of Matrix kind of.
Either scenario. Way, like you can always like argue like, oh well, you get back to the beginning of time and God. Well, that's just explaining something we don't know yet with God. It's like, okay, well, that's exactly what simulation theory is, except it's even adding an additional layer of complexity where this godlike being is also programming us. For what purpose? For what reason?
Oh, it doesn't have to be a godlike being.
Still reducing it to an unexplained thing, just in a different frame.
No, we could be in some kid's hard drive in his bedroom.
He's still an all-knowing, all-powerful kid.
Yeah, it's still someone who's creating an existence.
You can see the parallels, Kyle.
Yeah,
you're an all-knowing, but you're that compared to a program that you write.
Apparently, I know nothing.
Remember that?
we all know nothing. Dude, DKA don't know anything is actually very funny, and I want to use that.
We've all seen Tron. It could be just like Tron. Go watch Tron. It's terrible with Jeff Bridges. Just a shit movie.
I guess the reason
I was the right age.
It doesn't better explain reality than just the God theory. Because like at the end of the chain with God, it's like, and then God did this. It's like, okay, that's the entity, but that we can't define. The entity you can't define in the simulation thing is just someone running a simulation who then could be on a simulation run by a simulation. And it's like almost more complicated than just being like, no, it's something supernatural we can't explain.
I don't really think about like who might be running it or why. I just kind of prefer the idea that I'm the only real person. and this is all about me.
That's a very lonely existence.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's
like,
beautiful.
Yeah,
But little Toby
It's like-
Murphy
it's like
and
how-
Rocky, they're not real?
animals aren't real anyway. They don't have souls.
Don't you fucking say that.
They don't go to heaven. You ever see All Dogs Go to Heaven?
Yes, I
Really?
watched it as a child all the time, and they do go to heaven. Cats don't, but like dogs all do. Dogs are all
Cat-
good souls.
Cats all go to hell.
Only good cats go to heaven. All
No,
dogs.
all cats go to hell. That's
Actually, pit bulls don't go because they're mean to other. Pit bulls are mean to other dogs, and that negates it.
they go to a segregated heaven that the infrastructure isn't very nice. A lot
It's
of
not very
liquor
nice.
stores and pawn shops and shit.
They got their own water bowls.
Yeah, our heaven's gonna be gentrified. It's gonna be sweet.
Dude,
There's
our
like
heaven's
old
gonna be
infrastructure,
segregated
but there's
to
still a
shit.
Starbucks. You know, like it's a nice place to live. I hope it's not clouds because whenever I see that, it's like, what is? I don't want to walk around on clouds and in gold streets. That's so gaudy. Who cares if everything's gold?
Walking around in clouds probably sucks. Like I've walked around in a
Yeah.
lot of soft sand and it's exhausting. Clouds can't be any better.
I read America's not in the top 10 fattest countries anymore.
Yes,
China.
Sorry,
No,
guys, I'm not
Mexico. I think
contributing.
Mexico is like right
Mexico-
up there, real high.
They were number one time I looked. I'm going to look.
They are. Mexico's number one still because they still have the delicious Coke.
Yeah, they keep. They keep.
You guys both froze for me?
Say it.
Oh,
Say it.
What? I wasn't going to say something awful.
Oh, okay.
this list actually does have America as the fattest.
That's
Probably,
fake news. Get out of that one.
Probably a Mexican list.
Oh, wait, this is bullshit. This is the countries with the most fat people.
Oh,
So
that's not
China
fair at all.
is second, even though it's 4% of the adult. If 96% of your adults are not fat, then really this is just a measure of countries with the most people.
I hope that they're
Yeah.
not taking height into.
That's a thing too. It shouldn't be heaviest because Americans are big, right? Like they're taller than most, not everyone.
sure.
Japan and Korea are the lowest. Asian countries really good at eating well, seems like.
Yeah, it was North Koreans, a slim bunch of folk. All right,
And that's because of diet and exercise.
diet, exercise, healthy lifestyle. It's love
The
for the great leader.
tremendous lack of food.
If you love the great leader enough, you too will be fit like he is.
Dude, I'd be fucking pissed as a North Korean. Like Kim Jong-un, the rest of them, they should have had the fucking decency to at least not be super fat, right? Like that's got to upset people.
I bet he has one of the coolest lifestyles that any human being has ever lived.
I would
Like-
trade
like-
with him in a second.
Like you think about like that you see in like cartoons or like depictions of like medieval kings, how they've got like a hot chick like with some grapes, like
Hell
like
yeah.
draping a handful of grapes over their mouth. I can go get all the grapes I fucking want. They're $2. Kim Jong-un has the modern equivalent of the hot chick draping grapes over your face. I don't know what that is.
I was waiting for you to reveal it.
I don't know what it is. It's fucking.
What do
she's-
they like over there? Soybeans?
It's fucking sushi coming out of a supermodel's butthole or something, and he's just sucking them out like just tuna rolls all
Think
day
of how
long.
dope that guy's life is.
Does he just
You
get
just
head
get to-
whenever he wants? Like that's what I'm looking
He
for.
definitely gets head
Right? Does he
whenever
just
wants.
get? There must be beautiful
Oh,
women
God,
in that
so my
country
penis.
somewhere, and
Yes.
he just like I don't know. He's in the middle of some meeting talking about defense spending, and someone's sucking him off under the table. I hope.
Yeah, that's sick.
It seems a little unprofessional. I'm not sure if he can do that, but I imagine
What's
behind
the
closed
point
doors,
of being
he's got-
supreme leader if you
I bet
can't
he's got a
have
whole
that?
harem.
I'm like, what do they call me?
Just-
Kind of leader? No, supreme leader. Suck
Yeah.
a dick.
Yeah, he's definitely getting head at meetings, doing all sorts of
Like
cool
anything
guy
he
stuff.
wants is his. Anytime
Name me
you're the
one thing. You know what? We've been skewed by Western media. Name one thing that's proven negative about Kim Jong Un. You can't. Do
He's fat.
Name two things.
Okay,
I think he's just bulky under that coat.
he's short.
Yeah.
I think that's the camera angle.
It's not. No.
We're
Need
looking
some of
right
those,
at him. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a mistake. You want to go very low, very low.
What's Japan's
Oh.
emperor up to? Do they
His
get to do
lifts,
cool
the
things?
lifts that Kim wears are outrageous. He stood
Yeah.
next to Trump and it was like, all right, so maybe Trump ain't 6'3", but he's 6'1" for damn sure.
Yeah, something like that.
Kim is not. Kim
Right.
has got to be like Kim is wearing lifts like this. They're like
Were they
3 or
similar
4.
height standing next to each other?
No.
Yeah, let me try to find.
Well,
it.
no,
They
no,
were
they-
close.
they-
They were closer than you think.
All you have to do is put them on stilts, and they'll be similar heights. I'm not saying they're genetically similar.
Oh no, I was the one I was thinking of is when they're like walking through like that courtyard or whatever, and he's got those giant silly clown shoes on, and Trump is still just big fat American, just this garden isn't as cool as the one I have.
In my memory, they were much closer in height. But I'm going to link you. I'm going to link you.
Maybe there was a photo op that you saw.
I mean, this is a photo op. This is them shaking hands in front of all the flags and shit. Not even close.
And he's in like 5-inch lifts right now.
That's the point. Yeah. This is a little fella.
Look at how healthy that doughy hand is. Damn.
Look at that puffy hand.
Yeah.
That's
See,
something.
He
guy
looks
is
sweaty.
This guy's living his best life.
He looks sweaty.
I love the praise for Kim Jong Un on
Just
this side.
praising Kim
This
Jong-un.
guy's so cool. He's living his best life. I think it could be an Instagram model, really.
He should be. Wow. Yeah, this guy, pretty cool.
Dude, how rocking would it be if he did like really maintain an Instagram page where he like I don't
Did
know,
cool shit.
just did cool shit all the time. He just up there like jet skiing with
Hey,
models on the
Dibblesarian,
back.
check this out. He's got a nuclear missile.
Right?
Oh, we're gonna shoot one over Japan. Watch this.
I'm just here cheering in my favorite concentration camp.
Dude, that would be so dope. I would love that. He could,
Oh, Dibblesarian, you got 20 women. I got 20 million.
Actually, I'm
Thanks,
going to
bitches.
kidnap you.
North Korea entertained me today. So North Korea has banned sarcasm. If people don't know anything about North Korea, you have to like be in a line with Kim Jong Un. Kim Jong Un. I think I have that close to right. UN. And anyway, so like when his father died, they're out wailing in the streets, almost like competitive grieving. To be the one who was most impacted by the death of the father. And just checking something. So, like culturally, they're not allowed to disagree, and the more in alignment they are, the better. But it looks like people have been using sarcasm as a way to disagree. And there are a couple examples in this article that this is all America's fault.
No, great leader, I'm not starving to death.
Right. Well, something bad would happen, and they'd say, "This is all America's fault," and that sarcastic tone was a way to like sort of speak out against the great leader without being misquoted or anything, and they were using sarcasm. There was another one too that
Who's going to head up the sarcasm police? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, all the sarcasm brown shirts to march around goose stepping into people's houses. Have you been, being sarcastic? No. Thank him, And then can you picture the big rallies they're having of a guy like on a soapbox like, no one would ever say anything bad about our dear leader. I mean, can you guys imagine it? And they're all like, no. And he's like, I know. And the Americans, us, so much impact on our daily life. I can hardly eat my one loaf of bread per day without thinking about how much America's the reason I don't get to eat meat. Like, oh yeah, you're right. Kim Jong-un's really doing a great job. It's these Americans. Like, that has to be borderline what's going on, right? For them to make it illegal.
I love it. Like, one, it shows a crack in their, I don't know, this culture, and two, it shows an insecurity in Kim Jong Un. I'm sure I'm fucking this up, but
You're pretty good so far.
but yeah. Anyway, sarcasm now illegal in North Korea. I love it.
They can't something.
I want to see how they enforce that, though. I also read this week that some American student who we thought had been dead for a while has actually been teaching Kim Jong Un English this whole time. He's just been captured and kidnapped.
Well, that's good news.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Couldn't he, why not just kidnap a Rosetta Stone, you idiot? You don't need an actual guy. Was this guy a certified instructor? Or was he just...
I think he just wanted a real English-speaking person. It's weird about the kinds of people that they want to teach you English, because I've told this story before, but my ex-girlfriend had a friend who had this great opportunity to go to South Korea to teach English. And I was like, so you speak Korean? And she's like, oh no. I was like, so you like studied Korean studies or something? Like you're familiar with the region and what they do there? Oh no, never been to that part of the world at all. And it's, well, they're paying you $80,000 a year. Yeah, 80. And they're putting you up in this house. Yep. They really need people to teach English. And I'm like, I speak better English than you. Like what is this madness? How are you going to teach it to them? She's like, well, they speak a little English. You just gotta get them indoctrinated into. This doesn't sound right. But yeah, like she's not an English teacher. She doesn't speak any Korean. But she got this gig teaching English just because she's an American English speaking person. Apparently that's good enough.
I don't know how much they get. I was under the impression that they were paid largely in their room and board when they went and did things like that. Maybe they make a good amount as well. I didn't think they did. But I know that was like the thing for a bunch of girls I knew in college that were getting degrees that didn't really have any relevance, and they'd just be like, oh, I'm just going to go to South Korea and teach English. And it's like, you don't speak very well at all. So that's going to be a bunch of Valley Girl Koreans over there with weird inflections on their voice. And like that, I don't know. It was funny seeing that because there's no way. I watched something else. Maybe it was about Japan. People from the U.S. teaching English in Japan. Might have been Korea. I assume it wouldn't be Japan just because we're talking about Korea. But apparently those students do not respect the English American teachers at all because they're all like 23-year-old white chicks who show up over there, in their little Gucci bags and their white girl clothes and their pumpkin lattes, and they walk in and start just speaking English and don't show respect for the culture enough. And I don't know, I'll need to find it. It might have been like a Vice video, probably not that prestigious, something maybe a couple echelons lower.
Vox.
But it was pretty neat. Is Vice still around? Man,
I think it
don't even
is.
know about that.
Did you guys look at or I guess not look, see what's going on with the WNBA player in Russia?
I only know that she was
happened?
convicted and sentenced for 9 years.
I saw that. Yeah, 9 fucking
Woo,
years.
I got off light.
Yeah, she needed Kyle's attorneys.
That's so fucked up. Like, what's going to actually
What
come
was
of
her
that?
offense? What did she
It was
do?
she had like a weed cartridge or something in her bag, or a couple
And
of
they're
something
letting
like-
her live.
And they're letting and the Russian generously are allowing her to live. Yeah, it's like, what's going to happen? Does she just like not get sent back? Well,
I think
what
what's
else
gonna,
gonna hold
so
on to her?
Biden has already offered a trade. We have someone of value that
An
Russia
arms
wants.
dealer.
I saw the arms dealer.
Is that what it
Yeah.
is?
Yeah.
And I either will make that trade or we'll sweeten it or something.
Can I say this? First of all, my best guess would be, no, I'll take that back. I guess that's not true. I hope after we trade a fucking arms dealer for her, after she smuggled drugs to Russia, by the way, because that's clearly what happened. Whether you like it or not, like you got to
Wait, pause. She smuggled drugs to Russia. Implies dealer to me. Is that where we are? Or did she?
No,
literally
I mean she had some
No,
fake
for
cartridges in her
personal
luggage,
use.
and she flew to Russia. I wouldn't even do that.
Yeah. Kyle just means that like if she was bringing in drugs that aren't allowed.
As far as the Russians are
Yeah.
concerned, she smuggled some drugs into Russia.
They are not
You got
filled
drugs
with
on you? Yeah.
Oh,
Were
Zach
they
has
hidden?
something
Yeah.
relevant. Russian prosecutors of trying to smuggle less than 1 gram of cannabis oil in her luggage. Help me out. Is 1 gram of cannabis oil? Doesn't
It's
sound
like it's like
much.
one,
It's one
cart-
cartridge.
Yeah, it's one cartridge is a gram.
Okay, yeah. So this is obviously she just wanted to get high.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. The charges didn't involve like
distribution. It was a charge of like,
Distribution or-
hey, you have this,
Or-
No.
and you
The
can't
next-
have this here.
It
right?
says she was charged as a dealer. It sounds like bullshit, but
Oh,
that's what
no,
Zach said.
not
as a
a dealer.
dealer. Well, that's insane because if she had one,
oh,
cart,
don't
what
give
are
me
you
that.
gonna
She
do?
used it for pain in her knees and her.
Oh
back.
yeah,
She's not
yeah.
a
I
real
use it for
athlete.
glaucoma prevention.
Please.
That's the
I
only
use it when I'm bored.
Yeah, that's what
The
she
ultimate
uses
illness.
it too. Okay, we use it when we're fucking having a good time. That's when she was using it to her knee and back. Yeah, that's what fixes a pro athlete's muscle soreness. Is weed. Get out of here with your fake. I hope that she's a real Biden supporter when she comes back. I'd kiss his old wrinkly ass if he traded an arms
Yeah.
dealer for me.
That was one thing where I thought Trump got burned. Trump saved that. It might have been one of the Ball brothers, but there was NCAA basketball player who got into a lot of trouble very early in Trump's term. And I think it was China, not Russia. And he negotiated for this guy to get special treatment. He brought him back home. And afterwards, they were kind of ungrateful. And it's like, bro, listen, you might not like Trump or his politics, but he saved your ass. And you know what you say after that? Thank you.
Or you just say exactly what you just said. Maybe you would like, I might not like Mr. Trump's politics, but I just came from a Chinese prison. I don't know if you've ever been in one before. Anyone here been in a Chinese motherfucking prison before? No. Yeah. I'm very thankful for Mr. Trump for getting me out of that motherfucking Chinese prison. Thank you, Mr. Trump.
Yeah. I had my eyes opened. The America I thought it is not nearly as bad as I thought. It's actually way chiller here than I imagined. You guys would not believe the lack of chill in China. Not joke appreciators, let me tell you. Like there was that one guy also, I forgot about the basketball, the ball player, but the other guy, the guy in North Korea, remember when they sent him back brain dead?
Oh, and he died immediately.
Yeah, because they like his parents apparently, after reading about the Brittany Griner thing, I was like, what was the other guy's name? Otto Warmbier? So I looked it up, and like they pulled him off a food tube when he got back. Like he was totally brain dead. They did something to him. And apparently like the big thing he did was he tried to take a propaganda poster from his hotel room with him, and they sentenced him to 15 years of hard labor.
I feel like I don't like that you can do that to an American. Like North Korea is just like, all right, this guy did nothing. We're going to beat the fuck out of one of your citizens, just beyond recognition, to the point where he dies upon his return home.
I'm okay.
And
I'm okay.
I'm listening.
I'm interested.
You know, I've never been offered a all expense paid trip to beautiful North Korea before, but were I to be offered one, and were I dumb enough to go, and were they dumb enough to accept my felonious ass into their great and beautiful nation, then I certainly wouldn't steal anything while I was there, because, that's right, we're in North Korea. No, I'm not going to steal anything. I'm not going to pull any, like, Seth Rogen hijinks while I'm there. No, nothing like that. I'm going to mind my P's and Q's, and I'm going to, like, follow the goddamn rules, because I think they're super against rule breaking there. They seem to be staunch on the whole follow the rules thing.
They are sticklers. Yeah.
Sticklers.
He was invited to Hong Kong and traveled to North Korea on his own. Wow. There's a call.
You should not go to North Korea.
No,
it seems like a terrible place. Like I was thinking about it with like Russia or North Korea, any of those countries. And like you said, Kyle, I was like, if I had to go to Russia or North Korea or China, I would literally buy a new suitcase for that, because when I went to Jamaica, I got back home and realized I had one of those carts just sitting in my bag. Like it was legal here, but I'm sure it's not legal there. And like that just happened 1,000,000% on accident. And so I would
That's how I got in trouble. One of those accidents.
Yeah. You'd have to be like, it'd be scary to be in North Korea or Russia or somewhere, to be like, this is not America, dude. Like they're looking for something from you. Like what are you doing? Like taking something out of a hotel room in North Korea, though. Do you think they're going to check our bags? Yes. Yes. They're going to check everything.
You're assholes.
And you're 100% right. I don't disagree with anything you're saying, but I just feel like a person doesn't have to be incomprehensibly stupid to make that mistake. Sure. I think I wouldn't steal a poster from a hotel, but damn, that's the kind of thing I do want.
Well, so here's the poster.
Would you take a picture you're not allowed to take? What if you took a picture you're not allowed to take?
Nah,
I'm almost positive that when you go there, you are warned by like either our consulate or like somebody on our side tells you like, oh, you're going over there.
This guy listens to warnings.
Yeah.
listen,
do I look like a guy who listens to warnings?
I hope that these days they say something.
You got an American flag shirt on. Just walking over there.
I hope they have a copy of the fucking photo or whatever that he tried to steal in the South Korean like side, and they're like, you see this? Yeah, this is what they beat Otto to death over. He tried to take one of these. It cost 8 cents, and it's made out of Chinese lead paint.
But this guy, the guy who stole it, was like, he was super young. He was like he was like 20 or something. So he just made like a stupid error, and so I totally understand what you're saying, Woody. Like he made a stupid mistake that shouldn't be forfeiting his fucking life. You do have to follow the rules when you go there, but I can see as a 20-year-old, he's thinking, if they find it, they're going to steal it and finger wag me, not put me into a coma and kill me.
Wrong.
20-year-old Woody could have been that dumb.
Yeah, look, any 20-year-old could be that dumb, like for sure. Like as far as when you said like an innocent mistake, like I thought you were talking about the cart thing, and that's totally possible. I imagine people do that constantly. Like
but I doubt that this chick did.
I doubt it was accidental, but like even so, like it's just not a fucking big deal.
I was really hoping that WNBA star wasn't going to be high enough to get her out of trouble, cool enough position, if you will, to get her out of trouble. But apparently that'll do.
Have you seen Bill Burr's take on the WNBA? It's in his most recent comedy thing. Dude, I love it. He's like, women let down the WNBA, not me. I watch tons of fucking sports. I watch the NBA. I watch football. I watch this. I watch the UFC. I can't get enough of it. What, I'm supposed to watch the WNBA? If you want women basketball players to be famous, you watch them. Why do I have to watch them? I already watched the guys play. You watch the girls play. It's women who aren't watching. And it's like, yeah, that's true, actually. There are no women watching the WNBA. Why is it Bill Burr's job to watch women play? Like, it's not.
I want to say there was an instance recently where they were talking about like getting the pay straight, and they found out the women were actually making more or something like that, so they cut their pay.
Oh, that was the U.S. women's soccer team, I think, where they, without knowing how much the men's team made, were like, we want as much as the men, and they're like, you make more than the men, you're now making less.
Interesting, because the women, I was going to say are better. That's the wrong phrasing. They're more successful, right? They play against other women, and they're usually contenders. The American team they always podium, and they often win. Whereas the guys' team, they don't do that well.
No, I don't think men's soccer.
The best part is done well. I couldn't care less. It's just not a fun sport to watch.
Yeah, I'm sure if I was a European, I would like it. But
I'm sure if I'd been indoctrinated into it.
Sure.
That maybe, although
you watch baseball, I think that stands.
I was about to say, I watch some baseball. I'm not going to stab somebody over it like those hooligans across the world will.
That's another sport.
They get intense. I like that. I like their intensity.
They're into hockey and street fights.
Yeah.
I meant to say football.
Soccer,
I don't know. It just seems like there's not enough scoring. I mean, baseball suffers from the same thing, I guess, but at least there's
baseball. There's a good
baseball. There's this sort of back and forth struggle, but I guess there is in soccer too. I'm glad you brought this up. For some reason, it triggered. Did you see the whole Putin goes to North Korea shit show this week?
I sent you the picture of them like driving in like the.
That's a real picture.
Yeah, I know. It's funny.
So I think Putin drove trucks in the army or something. I mean, maybe I'm misremembering that, but he's made a show of driving in front of the public before, which, to be fair, I've never seen our presidents driving. They don't do that. It's a sort of a way of identifying with the common man, I'm sure. But yeah, there you go. This is crazy. This is so silly to me. I saw that the entire
car to him. I think he might have.
I don't know. I saw the entire approach to Pyongyang or whatever was just flags, Russian flags, and these and pictures of Putin's face, like for miles and miles on these empty like interstate highways that they have. I never see traffic there. I don't think anyone has a car.
Is that actually real?
Yeah.
His watch looks
he gave him
fake.
that car. He's showing him the car. That's a gift.
His watch looks like it's AI generated.
That's a gift from Putin to.
Yes. Yeah. I guess North Korea has been supplying them with artillery. I can't say the word. I might be close. And this is a thank you. He gave him that. I think Kim Jong-un gave him like a piece of granite that looks like a tombstone. Did you guys see that?
It's just big granite sort of. I suppose you could mount it on a wall. It's very large and it has Putin's face engraved upon it. But it looks like a tombstone, like a big ornate one.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. Not as good as the car. Way worse than a car. Like, so
why didn't he give him a Russian car?
Have you seen that funny
it's not
clip from years ago
that was a Mercedes.
Am I wrong? Let me see.
Yeah, they love
I could have
Mercedes over
sworn
there.
it was a Mercedes.
Have you seen that funny clip where it was like the prime minister of Tajikistan or something gifting Putin a dog?
No. Oh yes, yes, and
the
he's
prime minister's
handling the
like,
dog poorly.
Putin, I bring to you a very nice Uzbeki dog, and he like gives it to him, and they're like, it's like a photo op, and so the Uzbek guy is like holding it by the gruff of its neck, like just the way they hold dogs in Uzbekistan, and
Yep.
Putin's like, and like grabs the dog from him and like holds it like a normal person, and it's like, oh, thank you for the dog, and the Uzbek guy's like, yeah, he liked the dog.
Very good with onions.
You don't raise
That's how
it.
He handed it to him like he had like a bunch of sausage links all tied together.
Exactly.
And the dog's clearly like in pain a little, like uncomfortable. And it's like wiggling around, and Putin's like, "Give me the fucking what? The cameras are here, dude. Come on,
Zach,
look, I love dogs too."
Zach, if you can find the photo of him
Kicking a dog is
hurriedly
career
grabbing
suicide.
the dog from the business. It's hold on.
What did you find?
It's a picture of it. It's so funny. Yeah, put this picture up and you'll have to zoom in. It's like a third of the way down the article. The one with the with Turkmenistan's president Garbuguli Bermagamenov.
Like you caught a fish.
He's a big one.
in the video, like go back to the other picture, Zach, real quick, where just him holding it.
Go, bro.
Like you can see Putin in the background with his hand kind of like on the chair like this.
He's getting up.
He's like quickly getting up to be like, "Oh, the dog! Thank you so much."
Yeah.
If that Turkish dude was a Twitch streamer, he'd be canceled.
Yeah, that's bad
yeah.
optics, bro. But lower that fucking dog.
What are they doing to dogs in
That
Turkmenistan?
dog looks so scared.
What are they doing at all in
Turkmenistan.
Turkmenistan?
Where the hell's Turkmenistan? Asia, I assume. But
I
is
would
that
assume
It's over there with
Central
the rest of the
Asia
stands.
with Uzbekistan and Tajikistan and
Oh yeah, right there by them.
Yes,
Get
yes,
busy
I know
with it.
where all of them are.
They're all kind of
Well-
clumped together, right?
The unspecified stands.
top of my head, south of Uzbekistan, northeast of Iran.
Is it
Somewhere
near
between
Pakistan?
Georgia and Mongolia.
The Ukrainians were using some sort of fake message to the North Korean soldiers from Kim Jong-un, telling them to betray the Russians and massacre them. And you
Really?
gotta- and look, we have a hard time picking out AI. Can you imagine the hard time a North Korean soldier has?
Right?
Yeah.
Oh,
I saw
man.
something like in that same vein of the North Koreans that like a lot of Russian soldiers apparently were getting annoyed because North Koreans got into Russia and immediately had the first ever ability to access pornography
Oh yeah.
in their entire life. And they'd be like, boys, you know, you are here for a war. And they're like, not anymore. Like, I am not here to jack off in the
They're
woods.
losing. Ukraine is taking territory back in Russia. Like they're expanding the amount of land that they own, which it never seems to go that way. Like they get a bunch of land in one shot and then they're just crippling, like contract.
Mhm.
But now they're actually gaining Russian territory, not Ukrainian territory, which I wish they were gaining, but it's a bargaining chip.
I
Is it
saw
like
the North
towns or-
Korean.
Yes.
Like the
Yeah,
that
they're
means
pushing
it's
them
better.
down.
Yeah.
I saw a Russian. He had a can of North Korean food that had came along with the
Ugh.
soldiers, and he's like speaking in Russian with a translator, and he's like, we of course we don't read Korean, so we had to find a translate, and you know what is this? Is dog. Is dog. Throws it on the ground and kicks it. It's dog. And it's like going on this fucking rant. He's like, I know eat dog. And I'm thinking, like, I'm with you, buddy. I know eat dog either. That's fine.
I can imagine the Russian soldiers and the North Koreans not getting along great.
Like, all I know about North Koreans.
Those are wildly different cultures.
Have you seen those YouTube videos of North Koreans being exposed to Western culture and Western information for the first time? They're fascinating. They're
I've
so
seen
fun.
many years ago that I've seen a couple.
There's a couple of big channels. One of the better ones does food. They'll take them to like a Texas barbecue and they'll give this North Korean like a full like Texas barbecue of like brisket and ribs and pulled pork and like 8 sides, and they're like, "This is more food than I have ever seen." And they have a meltdown eating all the food, or they'll show them like top 10 U.S. weapons. That I love that one. They showed these North Korean soldiers had defected, and they've been told their whole life that their like World War II tank is like cutting edge. They're like, this tank that we've given to you is the best tank. The Americans will be destroyed. You will be like the side, and they will be the wheat when you are in this World War II tank that's a piece of shit. And they believed it because they ain't never seen no other shit. And then they play them like this montage, like that's like Call of Duty of AC-130s and all sorts of laser guided shit. And there's like, these are truly weapons that we cannot fathom. It's so fun to watch them like react to that shit.
Do they not have Company of Heroes 2 in Russia? Because if they did, they would have learned that even in World War II, they were going for total numbers a lot in Russia.
No, this is North Koreans that have defected, and now they're being exposed to Western culture for the first time. They have no idea. Like seeing them eat McDonald's is fun. Or they also saw one where they've got these Afghani tribesmen who probably those guys definitely rape little boys. By the way, that's their deal over there. They love that stuff.
No culture is better than another, Kyle.
I'm not ranking. I'm just pointing out some of the features of theirs.
I'll rank. We win.
I agree with you, Woody. I mean, ours doesn't even have boy rape in it as an accepted sort of. What do they call them? T-boys? I think they call them T-boys. Something like that. Yeah. They if you're like a 12-year-old effeminate boy over there in Afghanistan, you're going to be a T-boy. They brag about their harems of little boys, like it's a sign of status. Like, yeah, I got these horses, I got these camels, I got this car, I got like 4 T-boys over here. Look at.
I insert myself in here, and it's like I'd have been a T-boy till I was like 17.
Oh, you'd have been T-boy for life. You'd be a T-man.
when we were in Afghanistan, like sometimes our military was like making alliances with those guys and being like, yeah, you just tell us what you're doing, and we'll stay out of your business.
No, not that. No, we guarded their opium crop while they raped children. With our lives and blood, we died protecting their drug crops
while they're in there being pedophiles. Yeah, for sure.
Coming off as judgmental.
Do you see the Russians were paying the Taliban $200,000 for every American attack?
Say that again.
The Russians were paying the Taliban $200,000 for every attack on the Americans during the war.
Our allies
in
Russia.
Yeah,
Russia?
I'm just.
Or Taliban.
I feel like people don't look at Russia as the enemy. Like,
absolutely. I always have. I was born in '86, but I have all the media that I was intaking as a kid remembered the Cold War very well, and Russians have always been the bad guys to me. Like they are the villain in every source of media and in reality, in history, they are the bad guys. A lot of. They were
on our team in World War II.
Yeah, that's to say
that ended pretty rapidly.
Yeah, we should have kept going. We should have kept going. Like
should have knocked them right out.
Churchill wanted to keep going.
I think it would have been us doing the heavy lifting on that for sure, right? Like all of Europe was largely depleted.
We were there, yeah, but we were already there. With everything, we had all of our shit there. We're ready to go.
And Russia was very weak at the time too, so it's not like they would have been sending out their, best warriors. They'd already died.
Yeah,
fighting the Germans.
Instead, we split Germany, and they took everything, east of that. And you had the Cold War for 50 years, and you have what we have now, where we've had 2 administrations who thought appeasement and kissing ass with Putin was the way to go. It hasn't been since George W. Bush. George W. Bush was hard on him, I thought. And but Obama and
Trump,
who came after Obama and Biden, I thought have been weak on Putin just the whole way through. But yeah, they're absolutely our enemy, 100%. They're diametrically opposed to everything that we're about. They want to weaken us from within. They hate us for good reason.
Does Alex Ovechkin change any of that for you?
I don't even know who the fuck that is. Is that Yager's friend? Yager Markov?
The guy who's going to outscore Gretzky.
He's going to get more goals than Gretzky either this year or early next year. That's a record no one thought would ever be broken, and you're acting like that doesn't even play into your geopolitical opinions.
Yeah, Kyle.
We don't know that he's not going to be taken out by some crazed fan who's like a huge Gretzky for lifer.
Some Canadian like breaks his kneecap on the way out to the final game.
And maybe he's got like an argument. He's like, you played more games than Gretzky got to play every season. You get 14 more games. It's not fair. And he like fucking kneecaps the guy, gives him the old Tanya Harding.
Actually, who does have more goals per game?
It's probably at this point Ovechkin.
Points per game.
Because I don't. Oh, point. I mean, that's not a contest. It's not even close.
Kyle might not know that an assist counts as a point.
I do.
Yeah, Gretzky has more assists than any other player has points.
Hockey assists rack up because if you pass to a guy who passes to a guy who scores, both of you get assists.
Gretzky not even in the top 4 here.
Of games played?
Goals per game.
Oh, goals per game. Yeah, the thing with Gretzky
there should
is
probably be some asterisks there. It's probably these guys probably played like 3 games or something.
No, they still played like 80, 82, but or I think maybe 80 for a while instead of 82, which they do now. But Gretzky would just have seasons where he'd be like, you know what? I'm going to be the number 1 goal scorer by like 25 goals this year, and then he would just do
75 goals in 87 goals, and he was number one. That's crazy.
He scored 92 goals in 80 games with the Oilers in 82. Like he had this is like a fantasy level game. He had 212 points in 80 games. That means like if he went out there and got a goal and an assist, he'd be like fucking off night. Like just what a terrible.
This guy's going to break his. So this guy's going to break one of his records.
Goals one.
Ovechkin will get more total goals. He's only like 21 away right now, and so it's neat to see someone break a record that no one ever thought would be broken, because everyone's always known that a couple of Gretzkys are truly untouchable, but this one is not. So clearly it's not. As long as like Ovechkin doesn't totally collapse, because he's like 39 and he just broke his leg, but he came back. Yeah, like earlier in the season, but then he came back like 5 weeks later, and so maybe he was getting a little of the Russian gas that they give out in Russia. That like, have I talked about that before, Kyle?
You asked them.
All the play. If you listen to Spit and Chicklets, which is the hockey podcast I like, Ryan Whitney, who was a former NHL defenseman, he dealt with a lot of injuries, had to cut his career short, but he was a very good defenseman. And when he played in Russia, all the players would talk about Russian gas, which is like you'd go into the back with the trainer and he would like let you huff a bunch of stuff. And he'd be like, and dude, I'd go back there, my knee would be killing me. Right before a game, I'm in a bad mood. I'm in fucking Russia. I don't want to be in fucking Russia. I don't speak Russian. I feel so out of water. I just want to be in the NHL again. And then the doctor would hit me with this stuff. And after just a little bit, I'd be like, not only am I going to play tonight, I'm going to be the best version of me that's ever existed. I was energized. I was happy. I was in a good mood. I felt elated. And like later it came out that it was just a total Russian cocktail of drugs that they were doping these guys up on, like forms of speed, painkillers, all sorts of gas they were huffing just to get them out there and play another game.
That sounds
pretty cool.
I'm reading this article. It says, if you ever wondered how Vladdy Poots scored 8 goals in an exhibition game against professional players over in Russia, now you know. It definitely wasn't because the opposing team's players thought they'd endangered if they didn't let it happen. He would. And he goes on. We're talking about Russian gas here. I wanted to get to the bottom of like what might be in it. Maybe some stimulants or something. There's a graphic here of Captain America coming out of the pod.